Hey guys, Saint here. I want to bring to you my Serenity Monk build. This thing is a freaking beast. I use it primarily on greater rifts to control the trash mobs and to give high DPS characters the opportunity to kill things without dying. So mainly it's a control character. It's a Serenity build monk, and this is version, build 2.1.2 on Diablo 3 on Xbox One. I want to share with you what I got going on. It's going to update in 2.2, and I'll release another updated version of that. This build is not perfect. There's definitely stuff that can be improved on it. But I want to show you what I got and give you a place to start. So basically the name of this build is cooldown reduction. Everything is sacrificed for cooldown. So I'll go kind of piece by piece and go over the skills and the passives for you. Right now, my paper damage is 1.1 mil, and defense is 15. Obviously, that means defense means absolutely nothing, because when you're a Serenity Monk, you have immunity to damage if you build it right. So we're going to go over that. So let's start with the primary weapon is Born's Furious Wrath. The good news is Born's is we're going to go for cooldown reduction on the item itself, reduce cooldown 10% on the item, and then we're at the set bonus for a 20%, or excuse me, a 20% bonus experience and reduce cooldown of all skills by 10%. So with that item, we got 20% cooldown, and we're getting that set bonus off of the chest piece, which is giving us our second part of that set. I rolled that for Dex. You can't get CDR on the chest piece, I don't believe, so you're kind of left with Dex for that one. And then we also have the Sunmuku set. So we have three of the four pieces of Sunmukus. Now that will be changing in 2.2, but for now it's a 4-piece set. I think it goes up to 6 in the next patch that comes out. Right now we're rocking 3 of the 4. The shoulders are rolled for cooldown. And this gives us basically, this is our damage set, right? So this is giving us our Cyclone Strike, Exploding Palm, Decoy explodes, you gain that buff. Everyone knows, anything about monks knows about Sunmukus. It's a must-have. So obviously, Sunmuku set is titty sprinkles, for real. So we have Sunmuku's Paws, also rolled for CDR. The Vigilante Belt, CDR. Captain Crimson's Thrust. This one gives us cooldown of 10% on the 2-set bonus. And we have to have 2 pieces, even with the Royal Ring of Grandeur, so we have the 3-set bonus of resource cost by 10% as well. Captain Crimson's second piece. You already know it's got 10% movement speed. These don't look like a perfect roll. It's up to interpretation of what you want to put on it if you can't get CDR and how you want to stack your character. Royal Ring of Grandeur with the Gungok of Swiftness legendary gem in it. This is what you absolutely have to have. A legendary gem you cannot do this build without is this gem right here. So basically, you get 1% cooldown reduction stacked. So when you have the gem leveled all the way up, you have a 100% chance to gain swiftness, and it stacks up to 4 seconds 15 times. So you get 15% increase in your cooldown reduction. Now, why this is so super important is if you look at my paper CDR is 78.47 on CDR. Now that's really high, but if you watch me pop my Serenity right now and you watch on there, you can see that there's no overlap. So I think it's about a 300 to 400 second gap where I can just get squished. There's no way I can run greater rift 50 plus with a gap, right? With a 15 mil defense. I'm trying to be the tank and the control character. So when you run the Royal Ring of Grandeur, or whatever socketed jewelry you want to have on, Royal Ring is definitely required for the set bonuses. You get the stack, and I'll show you how that works, right? So let's hop in just a T6 Rift, and I'll pop my Serenity, and let's get some guys over here. So now you can watch my my Serenity, and you can see that it's overlapping and that I'm not getting hit by anything, and these are illusionist, plagued, orbiter, vortex assholes, right? Which normally will hurt just about anybody that's not stacked for a high greater rift rank. And I'll just do some damage up here, destroy these trash mobs, and then we'll go over skills here in just a second. Okay, so as you see, I have Serenity and Epiphany. Basically, I just hold these buttons down, you know, until they regen and automatically hit. Call it OP if you want, but that's the way it is. And the other thing I have is the Blinding Light. So, with our passive skills, Beacon of Yatar required 20% cooldown to get that 78.47%. Let's see, which one is it? Yes. So Relentless Assault, you get 20% more damage to enemies that are blind, frozen, or stunned. So what we have here is the Mantra of Conviction with Overawe. So this is, you know, mainly a support, increased damage for myself and for friendlies. 30 yards of you take 10% increased damage, increase the strength of Mantra Conviction, so an additional 16%, right? So that coupled with the Exploding Palm and Pending Doom cold damage. So people that are frozen are going to do more damage. People that are blind are going to do more damage. Blinding Light is kind of my button I hit when I run out of mana, excuse me. And then for my right bumper, I have on Cyclone Strike with the Wall of Wind. This is a really important one if you want to control the field of play for the high DPS players. It keeps them all sucked in around you and frozen, so you're doing damage, they're doing damage, and hopefully you get it through. Just roll through those elite packs with you controlling them. Alright, so I told you I'd go over all the passives. Here we go. Determination, because we want enemies within 12 yards to increase damage for maximum 20%. We're going to suck all those guys in and hold them there for the rest of the party, so we want that. Relentless Assault, Blind, Frozen, Stunned, we already talked about that. Beacon of Yatar, have to have that. Seize the Initiative. This one, it's kind of up to you if you want to have this one or not. Dealing damage to enemies at 75% life, increase your attack speed. Your attack speed isn't all that important because you're not doing the typical monk build where you're actually trying to generate your mana from attacking with your typical primary skills like Wave of the 100 Fist, Crippling Wave, and all those. We're actually using the Epiphany and Blinding Flash to generate that, so we don't really need those. So that's up to you. I would probably put on maybe Unity. That might be a good one. You can play around with that fourth passive just to see what your play style, what you like. So those are all my actives and passives. Again, guys, I'm going to have a link to this on the Diablo 3 forums as well as below in the description. So check that out. So you can check it out offline without having to watch me over and over and over again. Alright, so let's go kill a few more guys. You guys can get some numbers on what's being done here. And again, this is just T6 Rift. I'm sure that, most of you guys are rolling through Tier 6 Rifts without a problem. But this is my build, and hopefully it'll help somebody out that might be looking to start a monk and doesn't know where to start or what kind of build they want to go for. These guys are just getting demolished here. Critting in the average of the 30 to 50 mils is pretty average. Now, I am wearing Gundo gear on my wrists, which I didn't talk about yet. And this is the other thing. If you're running Exploding Palm and you have a monk before, I know you know about gungo gears. You absolutely have to have them. But as soon as I'm just standing in front of these molten, you know, they're not touching me at all, right? So I'm immune to every bit of damage. Alright, so the gungos, or gungo, I have no idea how to say that. I hope I'm saying it right. Exploding palms, on death explosion applies exploding palms. So basically, it's I wouldn't say stacks, but it spreads from one to the other, and it doesn't seem to proc all that often, but when you do, oh my gosh, it just clears an entire room full of trash mobs. You don't see it so much in the Greater Rift 50 pluses just because they have so many hit points on everyone, but I've seen on this specific character, you know, critting in the 3 to 5 billion range. But again, that doesn't proc all that often, so you have to exploding palm mark everything, and it will spread as fast as it can. You know, don't depend on that procking to destroy guys. So that's it, guys. You know, follow the link in the description below to check it out offline, and hit the mash the like button, hit the follow button if you want to see more. I'll definitely be updating a 2.2 PTR on the Xbox One for you. All right, later, guys.